Let's get it. What's happening? What's up? You're watching Philadelphia Eagles Now by Chat Sports. I'm Chase Sr. No matter where you are, how you're tuned in, we appreciate you for tuning into the program here today. And on the show, we open up the floor and we hear from our loyal subscribers and all of our real ones taking your questions, your comments, and your hot takes pertaining to the Birds as we talk all things Philadelphia Eagles. And we start off with a longtime viewer of the show who supported us for a long time. That is Andrew Nathan. Do you think that Howie Roseman could make a move at wide receiver for depth, like trading for Treylon Burks or John Metchie? Your thoughts? Very interesting scenario here. Interesting question and talking point, because on Monday, Devontae Parker decided to retire. And I saw some jokes in the comment section. He knew he wasn't going to make the team, so he called it quits. OTA's about to get underway. He probably realized he doesn't have it. What he said, he just wants to spend more time with his family. He's got multiple kids. He's been in the league for a little while. And I wasn't sure that he was definitely going to make the squad or not. But it does put into question the wide receiver depth behind A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. And I think Philadelphia might have to make a move here. Now, during the first open practice of OTAs on Wednesday, it was Paris Campbell who was lining up in the slot, and Jalen Hurts was targeting him a lot. And he ran a 4.3 40-yard dash in the pre-draft process coming out of Ohio State. Indianapolis Colts took him in the second round. He's been injured so much. What's interesting about Paris Campbell, he's not small like a Deshaun Jackson, an Xavier Worthy, or a John Ross. He has some decent size to him. If he can stay healthy, he can be an intriguing option because he has that vertical speed, and that's a great compliment alongside Brown and Devontae Smith. I think the Philadelphia Eagles and Howie Roseman, though, could have a major move in store to address that wide receiver 3 position. Treylon Burks is interesting because he has so much size, physicality, and moves well. I loved him coming out of Arkansas as that Deebo Samuel type of player who wasn't an outside guy, but you put him in the slot, he's going to be able to win mismatches. He's going to be overwhelming for smaller nickels and some linebackers. You use them on jet sweeps and on reverses, end arounds. You find creative ways to get him the football. Up to this point, he has been a massive disappointment for Tennessee. The issue, too, with him is the money that he's owed. He was a first-round pick. So that's a little bit of a pricey trade for Philadelphia, potentially. John Metchie, what he did at Alabama, very impressive. He, too, has some pretty solid speed. I would kick the tires, though, on a player like Burks or Metchie. The Eagles as an organization, they're an organization that can sometimes take these players who don't work out for other teams, and they can work out for Philadelphia because they have a quality culture. Wide receiver 3 trade, would not rule it out just because of the health concerns with Paris Campbell. Next up, David Marcella. He makes a prediction here, and this is why you subscribe to the show and you tune in, because you can make your predictions here on the program as well. He says Jalen Hurts throws for 4,000 plus yards, 25 to 30 passing touchdowns. He likes Saquon Barkley to have more than 2,000 all-purpose. A.J. Brown, 1,300 to 1,700 yards receiving. And then Devontae Smith, 1,000 to 1,300, with Dallas Goedert having 700 to 900. I think that Saquon Barkley, if he stays healthy, can be to the Eagles what Christian McCaffrey has been to the Niners. And what did Christian McCaffrey do last year for the number 1 overall offense in the NFL in the Niners? Yeah, I get it. They still have a lot of weapons. Ayuk, Deebo, Kittle. He still had more than 2,000 all-purpose yards. So just because Philadelphia is loaded with A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, Saquon Barkley can still be utilized in a variety of ways to the point where he can have 2,000 all-purpose yards if he stays healthy. I like that a lot. As for A.J. Brown, the last 2 years, he's come close to 1,500 yards. There's no reason why he can't duplicate that again. Devontae Smith, the last couple of years, he's been right around that 1,000-yard mark. I love it, and it's time for Dallas Goedert to pop off. I think that he can do that with Kellen Moore calling, and designing the play. 700 and 900. He's hovered before between 500. 600, 700, and 900 is a good number. What I'm not sure about, and I think that Hurts can throw for 25 to 30 passing touchdowns, is the 4,000 passing yards. I think Philadelphia, because of their schedule, because of the way that they're built, they might win sizably against a lot of teams so that they run it a lot later in games, which then takes away from the total passing yards from Jalen Hurts. Also, I think they want to have a balanced offense under Kellen more, so it could be hard for Hurts to hit 4K passing yards. But Marcella, I love it. I even like that profile picture. I love that profile picture with the flag and the turnover chain that you want by being a loyal viewer here on Philadelphia Eagles. Now, Sean Harding, let's go to his $10 super chat. Longtime fan from Olney, watching from Arizona. Appreciate that, brother. Love the work that y'all do. Thank you. Would love to hear how you think the Birds plan to play this season with these new weapons that they have. Go Birds. Yeah, so Saquon, I'm just so excited to see what he can do because of his natural ability. He's finally going to be running behind a competent offensive line. The Giants haven't even been competent. And the Eagles the last 2 years, as far as run block win rate, have been a top 3, top 5 team. And they have a really good offensive line, even without Jason Kelce. That's going to help Saquon. And then the Giants also criminally underutilized Saquon Barkley in their red zone, but also as a pass catcher. So I want to see Saquon, again, used like Christian McCaffrey, catching balls out of the backfield, running the football everywhere, lining up out of the slot. Find ways to get your weapon the football. Ania Smith, Johnny Wilson, we'll see what types of opportunities they have. Paris Campbell, again, 4.3 speed. It comes down to him being able to stay healthy. Those are kind of all of the weapons on the offensive side. On the defensive side, Bryce Huff, 10 sacks last year. Now you're getting paid big-time dough. Can you duplicate that? Nolan Smith, not a new addition, but can he break out as a sophomore? Devin White, get back to that all-pro form. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, welcome back. Quinny Mitchell-Cooper DeJean, can they impact the game as rookies? I just can't wait for it. Andrew Nathan, $5 super chat. Hey guys, I saw on X that some reporters believe that Howie should trade for defensive tackle Jonathan Allen. What would be the comp as far as the compensation? Possibly a third. Your thoughts? Jonathan Allen's a good player. I'm going to look up his numbers right here because he's been a good player for a long time. Also have to look at what his compensation is as far as the money that he's making. He's 29 years old. Really good defensive tackle for the Commanders. First round pick, 17th overall, 2017 draft. Very consistent production throughout his career. 8 sacks his second year in 2018, followed by 6, 2, 9, 7.5, 5.5. He was a Pro Bowler in 2021 and in 2022. His Pro Football Focus grades, not good last year against the run, only 37.9 overall grade of 59.7, but a pass rushing grade of 77.6. He had 30 hurries, 49 total pressures. What concerns me is that Vic Fangio's defense already allows chunks to be picked up against the run because they don't want to give up explosive plays in the pass game. So sometimes they're susceptible to letting teams churn it out in the ground game. Jonathan Allen is not going to help you there. Also, how would he be a scheme fit for what we expect to be a 3-4 front for Philadelphia? Now, Jonathan Allen and Jalen Carter and Milton Williams, as well as Jordan Davis, of course, that's a good defensive tackle rotation. But Jonathan Allen's also making a lot of money. So I'm not sure that Howie would pull the trigger here. Maybe Washington could eat some of that money, but Jonathan Allen is due $15.5 million, has a cap hit in 2024, a $21.4 million. Expensive player. Our guy Paul, Louisiana Paul, did you get your Jalen Hurts jersey? Let me know, brother. I really think both receivers drafted are busts. Johnny, more of a tight end like Jimmy Graham. I think signing another wide receiver, the smartest decision. Yeah, Johnny Wilson is 6'6", but he plays smaller, struggles with drops, doesn't create separation, and isn't a great route runner. That's not a great combination. But with his 40-yard dash speed at that size, you are intrigued by the size component. And you'll take a chance on a player like that late. It was a late-round pick. If it doesn't work out, you took a flyer on a player who has some insane physical gifts. But he definitely has to get better, and he's definitely raw. And we'll certainly see if that development can take place with Philadelphia. As far as Ainias Smith, he's been a favorite of Nick Sirianni and this coaching staff over the last couple of years. He's only 5'8", 5'9". He only clocked about a 4.5 40-yard dash. That's a problem, but he has short area quickness and short area burst, so he can make people miss in a phone booth. Paul said never got the jersey. It should be on its way because I did put it in the system. By the way, Fanatics, sometimes takes a little while to get you your jersey. So get yours right now if you want to hop on board to get a Quinion Mitchell jersey, because you can get it at this point before the start of the regular season. Chatsports.com/Quinion. Jerseys available right now for the first-round pick for Philadelphia. And if you use that link down below, by the way, you can also get other Eagles jerseys, which are on sale right now because it's the offseason. We'll put that link down below in the comment section and in the description of this video. Millie315, what positions are you most excited to see battle for starting spots in training camp? I'm excited to see the battles at slot, wide receiver 3. Yeah, so Paris Campbell getting the first crack, as we predicted, at wide receiver 3 alongside A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. So I'm excited to see who wins that battle. Off-ball linebacker next to Devin White. Will it be Zach Bond or Nakobe Dean? Right guard, I imagine it's going to be Tyler Steen, but if he falls on his face, does Matt Hennessy or Trevor Keegan take over? Backup tight end, I think, is a sneaky good one behind Dallas Goedert, Albert Okwuegbunam, Grant Calcaterra, CJ Uzama. Who's the starting corner opposite of Darius Slay? Will it be Isaiah Rodgers, James Bradbury, Keely Ringo, Eli Ricks, Quinion Mitchell, or Cooper DeJean? Who starts in the slot? Cooper DeJean was getting second-string slot reps, with Quinion Mitchell second-string outside corner reps. No James Bradbury at OTAs this week, so on the outside it was Rodgers and Slay with Maddox on the inside. And then safety. And then let me throw this out there. Who's going to be the team's punt returner and kick returner? Britton Covey has been trusted. He's been sure-handed. Last year and a half, he's been one of the best statistical punt returners in the NFL. The Eagles love him, but he doesn't contribute really outside of special teams. Cooper DeJean and Ainias Smith are capable of being a punt returner, and they can contribute outside of special teams. And then for that same reason, who's going to be the team's kick returner? All good stuff. Tiffany Leaks. What's up, Tiff? Looking fresh in the profile picture. Love the hair. Love the shades. My mom had shorter, spiky hair, so I'm always drawn to that. Always think it looks good. What defensive player or players do you see having a breakout year? Nolan Smith, Jalen Carter, I hope Jordan Davis. Milton Williams, I think, is criminally underrated. I think Devin White finds his stride. Those are 5 players right there, I think, who could break out under Vic Fangio this year in 2024. Aaron Charles, what expectations for Josh Sweat this season? So he got that contract restructured, was not there at the public practice on Wednesday at Eagles OTAs. 2 years ago, had those 11 sacks and had a breakout year. How does he fit into Vic Fangio's scheme? Because I think he's more of a traditional 4-3 defensive end, and now Vic Fangio is probably going to be running a 3-4. So I'm curious to see how Josh Sweat plays in this scheme and how he looks overall, because at the end of last year, his play fell off a cliff where he went on that sack drought up until the wild card round. Eagles are going to need to get a consistent pass rush, though, without Hassan Reddick. And Josh Sweat going to have to be a part of that. Jason Russell, is Hurts going to be able to see the blitz better with Kellen Moore as offensive coordinator? I think so, and here's why. Kellen Moore is going to have a lot of pre-snap motion, a lot of shifts, a lot of creative personnel packages, and that's just going to help out Jalen Hurts with the pre-snap reads and recognition of what the defense is doing. Because think about this. Something as simple as this is something that the Eagles did not do last year. When you have a wide receiver or any player in motion and a defensive player follows that player, that usually signifies that the defense is lined up in man. If they don't trail that player, usually signifies zone. So when the Eagles didn't do that, Jalen Hurts didn't know if the defense was in zone or man. And also got confused by some of the blitzes that came his way. I think Kellen Moore is going to make his job easier. There also weren't hots and answers to the blitzes. With this Nick Sirianni, Brian Johnson offense last year, it's not going to happen with Kellen Moore. Good question there, Jason. David Marcella, how impactful do you think Will Shipley will be? And will Kenny Gainwell take touches away from Barkley? So I think that Will Shipley can be impactful as a rookie because he has third down running back components where he can catch the ball out of the backfield. He's not a good pass protector, though. That could be an issue. Kenny Gainwell is, and as we've seen, especially last year, Eagles utilized Kenny Gainwell as that third down back because he is good at pass protection and can catch the football. I think there's going to be a running back rotation and a healthy one at that. And that's a good thing to have with Saquon, Shipley, and Gainwell. Some Black Ninja, Chase and Chip, what are your win-loss totals for this year? Go Birds. I said 12-5. I think the Eagles go 12-5. It's a record that I think is realistic. It's a record that's really good. It's a record that got the Niners the number 1 seed last year. I like 12-5. My boy Chip, what do you think about the Eagles record here for 2024?
When I do this, I like to look at the schedule like in segments,
yes,
sort of. So let's see. Those first 4, Green Bay, Atlanta, New Orleans, Tampa Bay, I think you go 3-1.
I like it.
You have your bye. Cleveland, New York, Cincinnati, Jacksonville. I can see them going 2-2.
Yep.
So what, 5-3?
Yep.
Dallas, Washington, Rams, Baltimore. I think another 2-2 stretch, so 7-5, right?
Which is fine.
And then you win Carolina, Pittsburgh, Washington, Dallas, New York.
You can win out.
I think you can win out. I think you can go 4-1. So I was at 7-5, 4-1. So I have 11-6.
11-6, 12-5.
Yeah, I think anything from 11, 10 on the low end to as high as 12, 13 is realistic. It's not that bad of a schedule.
Yeah. 11 to 13 wins. I think within that range. Let me take a look. What's the Eagles over/under win total for 2024? What do the books have? 10.5. So I like the over there a lot. 10.5, I'm smashing the over. Some Black Ninja. Be sure to subscribe to the show so you can be a part of our mailbags and you don't miss our coverage every single day on the EAGLES. Thanks for your support.